I really didn't think I'd be doing a Tampa Bay Buccaneers rebuild this late into the season, because usually a team like this is just too good of an overall at that point. If you don't do it early on, it's like you're rebuilding a really good squad. However, whether it be injuries, new coaching changes, Tom Brady maybe just falling off, this is a team that does not look great. Now, let's all be honest. We all expect them to still make the playoffs because the division is, well, basically the worst in football. You could say the NFC North, but you have a powerhouse kind of in the Vikings. You have a Detroit Lions team that looks like it, honestly, any given Sunday could potentially beat any team in the league, which is strange. But they were kind of like that last year in the second half of the season. And then Green Bay is, they've put on some shows against some tough teams. They've just come up short. Where this division has just looked awful, top to bottom, really bad. But once again, somebody's got to win the division, and it's pretty prime for Tampa to do the same again. Of course, looking at the offensive line, this is where a lot of their issues do arise. That left side of the line has been pretty bad. Obviously, losing a guy like Ryan Jensen, who I literally blanked for a full minute on. I don't know why. Before the season even started, it was massive. Ali Marpet, retiring was massive. Gronk retiring was probably the biggest loss of all of them, as I don't really think Tom Brady trusts any of the tight ends he has right now. And, of course, the receivers, they're still a talented bunch, but they haven't been as consistent as previous years. The run game just doesn't exist. And Tom Brady, like I said, it could be a lot to do with the coaching, as I don't feel like you go from being like the best deep ball team in the league to not even being able to convert like short down situations. And they just seem like a really short passing team. And like it just seems like they went away from what was working, and now they are where they are. Of course, Tom Brady missing some pretty uncharacteristic passes doesn't help. And then the defense is just taking a full step back. Now, it's not like the team was elite on defense, but that postseason run, when they won the Super Bowl, was pretty damn elite. And at times they've looked elite. But I think a lot of it is, once again, injury. Shaq Barrett being gone, no JPP. They were getting a lot of pressure from that front, and that's just not the same, obviously. Carl Nassib, he's gay about his stats, I'd say. 4 sacks coming in for, an injured Shaquille Barrett. Not bad, and I'd say he's pretty happy about it. But Joe Tryon, pretty bad joke. Joe Tryon, I remember when he had that insane preseason. Obviously hasn't quite lived up to that yet, but obviously he's still young. Jamel Dean, it seems like him and Carlton Davis, they swap, year in and year out of who's the better of the corners. Vita Vea is having a down year. It's literally everyone you expect to have a down year, if there was going to be, has had a down year. Other than Vita Vea, you probably wouldn't have expected to have a down year. Winfield's still great. Levante David's still great. Jamel's playing well. Devin White, sometimes he looks elite. Other times he looks like he shouldn't be on an NFL roster. It's kind of crazy. It's like he's Troy Polamalu, but he just doesn't have those kind of instincts, right? Like he kind of free balls it at times, and sometimes he makes an insane play. A lot of times he's just completely lost. And of course, the safety situation outside of Winfield, just throw a bunch of guys on the roster, hope one sticks, it seems. It's just a team that just looks like a shell of itself, simply put. But like I said, with that defense, I really do think a lot of it is the fact that they really haven't gotten crazy pressure. And in years past, their pressure was insane. Just like it would be insane if you left a like and maybe subscribed if you're new, of course. I don't know what team we'll do next, but we still have a lot of other teams like the Patriots. There's probably some super bad record team that I just completely passed on, completely forgot about. But we have all the wins and losses set other than teams that tied. In that situation, I gave the win to the team that I think is more likely to make the playoffs, like the Texans tie. I gave the win not to the Texans because they're like one win, so it'd make more sense for them to lose a game than it would be for them to win a game, because that would double their total, simply put. Same with the Commanders and the Giants. That one's a little bit more 50-50, but if I were to bet on who is going to probably win more games at the end, I would say the Giants, so I gave the Giants the win in that case, because once again, you can't force ties, which sucks. I feel like the HR department at like a lawyer's firm, it's business casual, damn it. That is a massive L. Like, that is a huge step back, as Logan Hall, Hasn't looked great in real life, but could be amazing for us if he got a breakout that early on, and he just didn't. And I seen, it was kind of like people were insinuating, I don't know, it's like a weird vibe, but people were like, look at Tom Brady, signing an intercepted ball, for a player. It's like, if he were to say no, people would be like, oh, look at Brady. He's such a jackass, whatever, props to him for doing that, because I'm going to be honest with you, if some Make-A-Wish kid intercepted a pass from me or something, or, I don't know, he got an intercepted ball because his favorite team was, the Jets. I don't know. I don't care. And he's like, can you sign this for me, Mr. Brady? I'd be like, no. No, I'm not doing it. I'll sign a jersey. I don't even care. But I'm not signing the damn ball that was intercepted, all right? But of course, wait a minute here. Why are we so broke? Are the Buccaneers really this screwed in real life? Wait, why are they so broke? So they're going to lose Jamel Dean, it seems, guaranteed. Brady could be gone. I kind of hope he retires here for us, because, it kind of feels like he's going to retire, right? Especially if I feel like, I don't know, dude, because everyone's head is in a different place, but, if you miss the playoffs, it's like, okay, well, that whole I'm going to play until I suck thing is kind of like, well, you don't maybe suck, but is it really worth continuing on? I don't know. Oh, my God, that guy is freaking hot. Yeah, I don't know, but 30 mil, it doesn't seem like we can afford anyone, at all. Do I pay Jamel Dean and worry about the rest later? Quarterback is, a huge need, but do we just accept maybe we're rebuilding and Jamel Dean is a piece that I'd like to keep around? I don't know. All right, so this team wins the division at 8-9 according to EA. I feel like some of the other teams would maybe finish a little bit better than, where they have here, but I guess that really doesn't matter. All that matters is about us. I don't really care about those teams. But 8-9, you would see a lot of NFC teams being like, well, that sucks. I'd prefer if they didn't make it in, but of course, here they are. We have to deal with them, so anything can happen as long as you make it in, and we'll see what happens with that knowledge. Of course, looking at how the season finished, they still don't have, at least I didn't check, I just assumed, because they haven't done it all year, so I just assumed that they didn't add the actual, win-loss, the stats and all that up to date, so I just, manually, force wins and whatnot. But this is what the Tom Brady stats look like in this universe, which are pretty absurd. Probably, or at least very good chance to be an MVP type season. That's what it definitely is. Maybe even won it. Like I said, sack totals absolutely awful. Sean Murphy-Bunting with 5 interceptions and a suck-up. Not doing super well. Of course, missed that really, that field goal he missed. It was a long one, but man, that was a bit off target. Jalen Hurts, though, 15-2. That Eagles team looking crazy. And, Jalen Hurts has a decent chance to actually win it in real life. So I don't hate that that's the way it went. Rookie of the Year, Watson, probably should get some more nods. But I feel like, with all the injuries he had, I think he just, it's just too late. I don't think he was starting long enough. But any award wins at all, and no. Let's go in against a very high overall Dallas team, which obviously has that, that chance of actually, being hosted by a team with a lot less wins than them. As, they're playing catch up to the Eagles, and Eagles with that schedule that they've had kind of seems like they're probably going to end up winning the division. Not that the Cowboys have had, some crazy harder schedule. You typically play pretty much the same teams as your division rivals anyways, but yeah, it seems like Dallas will have a situation like this, which could we win with a home field advantage? I don't know. 21-14, not looking great to do so. And like I said, this could be the last season of Brady. A, he retires. B, we just can't afford him. And, once again, we see ourselves as a rebuild team. But at the same time, if this is a field goal, bro, do you even understand who you have? I don't care what kind of season my man's has had. It's not that bad of a season, okay? This isn't like, Drew Brees' final year. And even then, it's, this isn't like Peyton's final year, if you will. I don't know, but, you still believe, right? You still believe in Brady to win you the game. 1 yard and you're punting. That would be the most cowardice play in the history of the sport. I don't even care. Oh, man. Maybe if you're up by, like, multiple possessions, but not in that situation, like, which, of course, we take advantage of and win the game headed on to the divisional round. Tom Brady, pretty good game. Obviously, Dak was pretty good, too. They had, the same touchdowns as us. Receiving, the top two, as usual, the top dogs. As far as what we want to do in the draft, I know we're thinking ahead a little bit. Trayvon Diggs getting a pick, of course he would. I don't know. I really don't know, because, like I said, we're probably going to have to replace a quarterback, and I don't know. It's a tough situation because I don't want to lose Brady, especially since we're in the divisional round here, but at the same time, we were literally broke. Whether we went for Dean or not wouldn't have mattered, and I feel like Dean is going to be definitely here a lot longer than Brady, but it is tough because it's like, do you really prioritize a cornerback over the greatest ever? And it's at the quarterback position. I don't know. Ooh, White gets a speed upgrade. And I know I'm kind of like brushing Levante David off here, but obviously he's quite up there in the age department. And the Niners, a team that very, 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 very recently has put up quite a performance against them. And the Bengals winning again, headed on to the championship round. Kansas City not feeling it. Unfortunate for them. Kind of wasted opportunities, but 3-0, 6-0, 9-0, 12-0. This is some mad deja vu, just less actual point scoring, but similar scoring drives. What is actually happening? Like, is EA like actually making a realistic game? Didn't get the 2-point conversion. 3rd and 3. Game on the line. Brady's end of his career on the line. Can the Buccaneers do it for Brady? They'll give him a chance. They'll give him a chance. I wouldn't say a 95-yard drive because obviously a field goal wins you the game, but basically a 95-yard drive. I didn't even talk about Russell Gage, but I don't think there's much to talk about anyways. Obviously, you're going to try to get out of this situation. That's one thing I do like about Next Gen / this Madden in general. It does seem like it's not like, you want some fast quarterback. You want a guy that can just throw the ball, right? Russell Gage, we're dotting up. I mean, you got time. Let's now actually choose a play. Ooh, this could be good if we actually get a block. Donovan Smith has been about as suspect as he ever has been in his career, so I don't know how I feel about that. And we got to throw it away, Brady. No! Brady! We can't do that! I'm yelling like it's Brady's fault. Wow, there is no time. I just sold this. Also, how is he not? Oh, well, that would be the most disappointing way ever. I kind of sold, but I knew that play wasn't going to work. That's my fault pre-snap more than actual at-snap. I just knew we weren't going to get enough time. I was going to throw to right bumper, but I just didn't feel like we were going to get that throw in there with the safety creeping. And Jimmy Garoppolo shouldn't even have been playing, but I suppose it doesn't matter. Just had, Purdy do just as bad, well, if not better. And yeah, that is potentially going to be the end of the Brady era. There would be tears. There would be celebration. There would be things. All right, there would be things. Bengals versus the Niners. The winner of that one is the Bengals by 3, which is pretty close. That's about as close as you could ask for. And looking at the team, Tom Brady has dropped to an 87 overall. Seems like either Mike Evans has regressed or Godwin got higher of an overall. But, I mean, either way, Cade Otton is actually a star development trait player. Maybe he's the guy. I don't know. He's not the most athletic guy, but this team hasn't really had that. I mean, they had O.J. Howard and never really used him. Where the hell is Ryan Jensen anyways? Like, should he not be back by now? Looking at DevUps, we had one from Winfield, but that is literally it. And Logan Hall didn't even go up. Man, he had a chance of that breakout, and he sold. So Brady's still here, but I don't think we can afford him. We have 29 mil. Can we tag him, perhaps? So Murphy Bunting, I'm cool with losing everyone else. Like, I'm not cool with it, but I mean, like, what am I supposed to do, Like Mussolini, I can't even afford him, really. Levante David's still really good. That's not even a bad price, but I can't afford it. Can we get rid of anyone to make this a guarantee? Because I don't even know how the freaking tag works. Like, you probably have to have the money to tag someone, right? Devin White is being paid a lot, but we can't get rid of him. Donovan Smith, my fellow American. I don't even know what that means here, but it seems like we can afford Brady with that releasing, and I think, you would probably want Brady back for at least one more season just to ensure that, you get another year of trying to find that next franchise quarterback. I don't know if Trask is him. $44 million, I'm willing to do 42. We need a little bit of room. I appreciate the offer. I mean, do you tag a guy like Brady? I mean, I suppose in real life, I'd imagine if they offered him $42 million, he would take it. If anything, he probably would give some back. So I'm just going to offer him, I don't know, I'm just going to change it to a 1 year of 35 or something. I don't know. And if anyone cries about me cheating, this isn't cheating. I'm giving money away. So now he's worth about 38 mil on the cap hit, I believe. I don't even know, but either way, he's making more money than he would have just sitting on the tag, which of course means we have to replace a lot of players, but if anyone could do it, it would be this front office. We will look at free agency, but we will not be touching. You break it, you buy it. I can't afford anybody here. Lante David's the number 1, which, doesn't really surprise me by any means. Marcus Peters, what can you do, right? Like, the guys we had to let go, we let go of, and we actually still have a little bit of money. And we have Brady and Jamel Dean. You don't see the AI ever have Brady and Jamel Dean. They either lose one or both, like 99% of the time. Actually, probably 100%. Probably all 100%. But at least Jensen's back, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it appears that we're probably going to be having to draft a tackle very high. Tristan Wirth has a 5th-year option, I think, with his overall and, dev. It's probably smart to pick that up right away. So with the needs we have and us against the cap, we really do not have much choice to be, picky, and we cannot really trade up. So we are here at 25. And there are some players here that I would not have expected to still be around. Guys like Skoronski being here is pretty insane. Brian Branch would be a great selection. I was thinking about going D-line. I think we can live with Logan Hall one more season as a starter. Wooden as a starter could be the savior for this entire thing, or Pickens. Edge, not really a need just yet with Shaquille Barrett coming back. Linebacker wouldn't be the worst thing. Safety, we do have options, though. In the, where the hell did I already pass them up? We have safeties in the 3rd to 4th round area, and it's a safety. It's not like you absolutely need to have a god there. I think this team has proven it, especially at the strong safety spot since we have Winfield on the free. Do you just go nutso mode and take a tackle that you know is going to be a god? Skoronski, blocking off that. Ooh, I didn't even think about Robinson. Man, I don't really like going running backs in the 1st round, and that would be kind of crazy to me, but this run game on this team is brokenly bad, and Robinson seems like that dude, does he not? Does he not seem like that dude? The funny part about this trade is they actually offered this to us without my 5th included. I just felt like it was too much of an overtrade from them, and it still is, even with this, but at least it's a little bit closer, and I feel a little bit more fair about it. We're going to trade back simply because we could still see some of the great talent there at 33, as they would probably not have gotten Mayer at 25, may have even jumped right in front of the Packers trying to get him, to be honest. But fair enough with that trade-up. That's a decision. Hendon Hooker, interesting. But you can see a lot of the players that we were looking at anyways are still there. Robinson to the Ravens, that seems like a decent fit, actually. Branch to the Eagles, Johnson to the Dolphins. If Skoronski was there at our pick, I was going to take him. But at this point, I may even trade back again. There's some tackles there, but there's so much talent still here, and we need a little bit of everything. I think trying to get as much value as possible is not a bad choice. We're going to check with the Colts, gaining 42 and then 106, so really not gaining 42, but moving back 9 spots for a decent 4th-round pick, which, once again, we really need the picks. They end up trading up for a running back, which, I'm still not completely out of the market for a running back, but maybe we pass in this draft. I don't know. There's some really good players still on the board there. Maybe we should have went for Jervon Dexter, but whatever. I'm still fine at 10. And even though we don't really need this position right now, I kind of want to go Eli Ricks, man. Like Carl, should we even be worried about positions we don't? Screw that. Screw it. We're going to give Brady his Gronk back. Darnell Washington, who is apparently a normal dev right now, 85 speed, 87 excel, 91 jumping. Definitely can spread the field a bit better than Cade Otton. Maybe a little questionable of a decision when you have other players of need. Eli Ricks, the Colts were like, please don't, please don't. But I don't hate the decision. I hate that he's normal dev, but I think he has so much more potential than Otten, and it's not even close. Tackle. Who else do we actually have? I think we might go QB with this pick even, which once again is like, you're not really helping the team win now when you still have Brady. But at the same time, we still have lots of potential. Jaren Hall could be our option. Start of the third, maybe. We move to 70 and gain 102, and the Falcons trade up for a guy that I was also thinking of at that pick. We're selling a little bit, but at the same time, I think we're adding a lot of depth from this class. And with that, I think we're going to be able to still land a pretty good class here. I think it's time for us to start taking some players. Zion Nelson, the projected tackle, but could move inside to guard as we may go Zier, who is obviously a little bit on the bigger side to play guard. And, well, a little better for tackle because he's a little bit too big on the guard spot. Anthony Richardson's still there, and it is very intriguing, I must say. Going to trade for 78, gain a fourth next year. Once again, I think I can wait a bit and then trade up once we see a player that, goes that we didn't want to go, Like, there's a couple of safeties. We only need one, and there's like 3 more draftables. Anthony Richardson goes. I will say Justin Jacobs would be a little bit of an L to lose, but we do have, we have Flo as an option, but he's gone now. We did have Nick Hampton, and I'm thinking I'm going Justin Jacobs with this pick. We need a linebacker too. He looks big. He looks good. Justin Jacobs, welcome to the squad. Normal dev, but very athletic. We're going to trade the Jets, pick 91 next year, and Cade Otton for 83, putting a little bit of the eggs in the Darnell Washington basket, but at the same time, you make that play for him, and you pretty much have to take him, right? But this pick is going to be Mr. Zier. Could have went and waited for Bass, but I want Zier at the left tackle spot. I've already decided on it. Big guy. Strength is a little lacking, but pretty athletic. And will be our new starting left tackle with Zion moving to guard. And with this pick, we're going to be taking Skinner, a big, strong safety that hopefully develops into a god. 89 speed, 91 jumping, excel agility, and change direction isn't perfect, but it's still decent. Change direction for his size is actually pretty good. What am I even talking about? We trade 106 this and a 5th round next year to the Packers for pick 90, which this pick is going to be Mr. Wooden, I believe. I could have waited because of Pickens. I'd say one, if not both, are going to be gone pretty shortly after anyway, so what am I worried about? Wooden, automatic starter. He's going to be the starter for the whole time because he's going to finally develop into a god. To be fair, I think we have had him play really well one time before. So we trade 102 this, a 7th round this, and a 4th next year for 92 and 156 this from the Chiefs, which is going to be us taking a quarterback as Cameron Ward is gone. And I want to have an option for the future in case we don't have a decent pick or what, I don't know, okay? But Jaren Hall is going to be my choice. 22 years old, throw power is good. A little bit of speed to work with. Welcome to the squad. 91 throw power, just enough speed to move around a little bit, and potentially QB1 down the line. And we're going to grab Wicks as the number 3, and I think we're going to actually play him as the number 3. Not hidden in the class anymore, but still really talented. And with our 7th round pick, we're going to be taking Jaden Reed for the speed. And we're now apparently broke. Negative $4 million, but a very deep class of players. Everyone but the wide receiver and quarterback are in the 70s. Justin Jacobs may have been a little bit of an L pick, but a lot of these guys were, kind of like 3rd round picks. A little bit of maybe not long shots, but guys that may take a little bit of time to develop. But I don't hate what we did here. A bit more normals than I was hoping for, but still lots of potential, a lot of youth, and some decent overalls. Now, I haven't taken many quarterbacks that aren't like some of the big-name guys, so I have no idea how good Jaren Hall is, but, looks pretty accurate, right? He's got paranoid sense. What kind of style does he have? Not that it matters for a rebuild, but just curious. Just trying to figure that out. Why not? Traditional 4, that's, something I don't know about, to be honest. So we added some talent. Obviously, Jensen being back is great. The left side of the line is younger and already a better overall, basically. Zier is only 1 overall less than, where, Donovan Smith was. Obviously, looking at the wide receivers, Mike Evans is dropped into an 88 overall, which is a little iffy. Got Wicks at number 3 because Gage really wasn't great anyways. White might be our future running back 1. Glad we didn't go running back 1, I guess in the draft because we didn't really need one just yet. D-line, Wooden, and Hall have potential, but we need at least Hall to really get a breakout, early on. Joe Tryon could be our future edge, and then Shaq Barrett is only an 80 overall at 30. Probably going to be gone very soon. So, we did our patch job, with the draft. How will it turn out? I don't know. But if we can get a few of these rookies to go from normal to star, it counts as a win in my book. All right, 76 mil. Mike Evans, Antoine Winfield, Brady, Mason, Devin White, and if we wanted to, even Brady, we could probably just squeak by. But at this point, I think it's probably time for Brady to go. So we got Mike Evans on a 2-year 42. We got Devin White on a 5-year 55.5, and we had Antoine Winfield on a 5-year 82 with 32 million left over. Once again, probably could just squeak by with Tom Brady and then Mason, one of the two, if we wanted them. But to be honest, like I said, I think we're going to move on from both. All right, had a really good start to the season, fell off a little bit, and we still make it. But it wasn't that great of a season, to be honest. We were at 1.7-4. We finished 10-7, which, isn't the greatest stretch by any means. But with that early good start, we were able to just barely hold on for a playoff spot. Tom Brady with the best yards in the league and maybe one of the top for touchdowns. Just came in second place last year for MVP behind Jalen Hurts. So, he's still got it, it seems. He's still got it, and overall, it'd be really hard to pass on re-signing him if he doesn't retire. Fournette, 1,071 yards, 4 points. He's doing well enough. Definitely well enough. Godwin went off. Mike Evans looked good. Gage stole the spot from Wicks, even though I put him at number 3. Glad to see it. Darnell Washington, please be good enough to get to star. That would be huge. Blocking, his year wasn't great, but he's at least younger and has more potential. Sack total's not bad from the edge. Vita Vea came in, did well. Wooden, not bad. Hall, he's an interior guy as well. Picks, Justin Jacobs with the most on the team. Vizcaino, I don't even know who the hell these kickers are, but he played well. Camarda did pretty well with 50-plus yards per punt, and that's pretty much that. Of course, I don't think Brady's going to be MVP with those interceptions, and I'm wrong. MVP Brady at 47 years old. Okay, well, that's interesting. Award wins. Tyler Van Dyke was actually a starter, just barely missed Rookie of the Year with our tight end, which would have been so good because it would have guaranteed a dev up. Godwin could be an X Factor, should be an X Factor. And, of course, already Will Anderson on the Bears. Kind of seems like it could happen in real life. The linebacker of the year, just like that. 3 overalls less than the Eagles. But we got the Brady. 14-3. Touchdown given up by the defense. Another touchdown given up. Nice drive, but didn't have enough time to score. 17 all in the second half. 20-17. 27-17. Defense holding up, but offense is not scoring. Whose ball is it? It is ours. Wow, this team decided... EA. Why? So you lose what? Was it 3 yards on the first play? So on 2nd and 13, you run it again. And then you lose more yards. Do they think we're the ones with the lead and we're trying to waste the clock? Is that what it is? And I think that's a GG. Pretty sure that's a GG, right? If the clock's running here, it's a GG. We've lost. Which I'm pretty sure it's going to be. And it is. Also, once again, why are we playing coverage? Like, what is this? Like, this game, dude, is just not good. It just isn't. So not good. It wouldn't even surprise me to see that they would punt it before just letting the clock go out. Of course, it goes out of bounds anyways, but that's not the point, right? Like, what a disaster. Unfortunately, that, I would imagine, is going to be it for the Brady era for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Some fond memories for them, but time to move on. Will this be a failed rebuild, though? That's the question, is we're still against the cap quite a bit. Wow, that sucks that we missed a kick. They did too, in fairness, but theirs was blocked at least. We're still up against it a little bit, but overall, it's just the lack of talent on the roster right now. Obviously, we still have some pretty good players on different positions, but having to replace those wide receivers soon isn't going to be great. And then obviously the easy elephant in the room, the quarterback spot, right? Having to replace that position Maybe we drafted, the future starter, but 23 years old, normal, sub 70. Not the greatest chances, but we will probably give him a chance unless there's some great quarterback staring us right in the face at, whatever in the 20s. Colts win the Super Bowl over the Cowboys, 21-3, which is a bit surprising. And speaking of surprising, I want to see if Brady's still around, which would be very surprising. He's like 48 now. Let's see if he retired. And he does after 24 years. I will say he makes the decision a lot easier because there really isn't a decision. You have to replace him because he's gone. Shaq Mason, once again, he's not the greatest. His overall is a bit better than his actual ratings are. Marquise Blair went up in dev. But yeah, everyone else is a backup. So we'll have about 28 mil. Probably going to just use that, save that money and use that on players we have to re-sign for the future. Like Carlton Davis, I know needs a contract this upcoming season and, stuff like that. As far as DevUps go, Washington and go up in dev, which is an L, but Godwin did. And then defensively, Vita Vea is an X factor, which is pretty big actually. And no one else but Jacobs went up in dev, which is some L's. So I must have ended my recording and then had Rashawn Gary on my list. Don't get me wrong, this is a super steal, 5-year, 105. But I came into this and started scouting, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this edge rusher that I was looking at. And, well, that's irrelevant because we have Rashawn Gary now, which, in fairness, I'll take every day of the week. That is a steal for him in general. And obviously the reason why you go for a guy like Rashawn Gary, you look for a new pass rusher, is because you can save some money with Shaquille Barrett, and more importantly, he is on his last legs here as an 80 overall. He's barely, I know the block shit is insane, but as far as pass rushing goes, he's barely got better ratings than most rookies. And with Barrett being older, but I know he's still going to perform in sim, I'm going to get a 4th round off the Jets for him, which I think is fair all around. We can also get rid of Gage, which I think we should, but just in case we don't find a wide receiver in free agency or something like that, or the draft itself, I'm gonna not do it just yet. So at pick 21, I'm kind of looking at wide receiver if there's one there. There's a 1 to 2 that I had on my list, and I would absolutely take him if he's there, but I'm not going to push for a wide receiver when we have, who we have. And he is still there. I got him to 90%, and I'm going to be honest with you, the more I scouted him, the worse it turned out as his B to C catching turned into a C. His C to F catching traffic turned into D to F. But man, is he fast. This is what this team kind of needs, is some speed in the slot. Obviously, really good deep, really good spec catch. Release is okay, catch is okay, but it's risky because you're getting speed. But if he's crap dev, there's no difference than, us going with him or this guy later, Kirby Hodges, who's literally just as fast. It's I don't really go for those high-end picks often anyways. Damn, Kirksey looks worse than he was. He had an A to C finesse and turned out to be a C. It's a pretty weak class. I scouted this guy more because we kind of need a running back as well, but similar to the wide receiver situation, you get a power back later on. I will say, though, where's his juke move? I can't see. My eyes don't work. Okay, let's go left or right. Oh, D juke move? Ugh. That's weird. B spin, D juke, B truck, and stiff arm at 207. Very fast, though. Wide receiver's not that big of a need. Running back, and it's not that big of a need. Do I just go Leslie Shepard just because he's a 6'1" first rounder? Elite speed, elite excel. I'm going to go for him. Thank God he's at least hidden, because if he was normal, that would have been a mad L. But yeah, he is really fast. Even faster than I would have expected based on his 40 and all that. Gerald goes to the Raiders. Be very interested to see how good he was. Give him 53, a 5th next for 46, which isn't a crazy trade up. Really wish we had a 5th this I could have given. Would have felt a little bit more realistic. But we are what we are. We're here. And, Ellerby's still there. Corner's not the biggest need in the world right now. But, man, that is a tough pass. Gonna have to, though. I think my choice is going to be LaShawn Green, as he's got a B power move, B block shed, maybe B finesse, but I highly doubt it. He's decently strong, pretty athletic. We're betting on hidden. If not, this is a big L. And he's not. Okay, well, we're going to have to take a look at ratings because that may have been a massive L. And Warren went that high. All right, here we go. Trading up to 66. What's the issue? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Thank you. And with this pick, we're going to be taking Michael Horton, who will likely play guard for us. Hidden development trait. The one time I could not afford to sell in a rookie class for a hidden lineman, and we did not sell, thankfully. My running back's gone, so I'm going to take Nick Hall, who has an A catch in traffic, A catching. He's not the fastest in the world for pure 40, but his excel is great, his agility is great, his change of direction is great, and with those two A's, I think he's worth it in the fourth. And he is hidden, which really makes you wonder about that first-round pick we made, but we'll see. I mean, maybe they're both great, and they end up both becoming superstars in the future, but I think Shepard, no matter what, is going to be our starter at 3, which means Russell Gage could be traded off for like a 5th or a 6th. As far as the overalls go, 76, 72, 74, 76 for the wide receiver. I'm going to actually take a look at these guys' dev. Leslie Shepard has all of the traits. Injury and stamina are amazing. Decent jumping, great spec. Catching is way better than they advertised. I mean, like a lot better, which we obviously take. Can he be superstar, please? He cannot. That's a huge L, but let's go right to the wide receiver that we just selected right before ending the draft there. And insane catching, 83 or 85 catching, 84 catching traffic. Short routes amazing, medium's okay. Deep sucks, release sucks. So definitely more raw, which obviously you expect that because he ended up being way later in the draft. But what is that dev? Watch him be like super. Okay, he's not. I mean, he's a longer project, longer shot, so I guess we still made the right call in the first round. I do want to take a look at Fitzgerald, though. And as far as Green goes, I think this is a bust pick. 79 power move is pretty good, but this just seems like a straight-up bust, I'm not going to lie. And then Horton, maybe he's superstar. I don't know why. I kind of have a feeling he's a superstar. Really good pass blocking overall, run block as usual. There's always one caveat, and it's usually is run block is awful, and he is not. So I'm going to look at whoever's the fastest. I suppose he kind of has to play guard because Jensen's not playing guard. Yeah, we drafted a guy that probably doesn't really fit the guard role like at all, but you know, it's a rebuild. Here we are. And even though that wide receiver is pretty good, if Fitzgerald is solid, I'm going to be kind of mad we passed on him. Trucking's pretty good. Stiff arm's pretty good. Juke move was it? Bro! It was a D! 81 is not a D, dude. 93 speed, 93 excel, 81 speed, juke and spin. Thank God he's only star, but like really, dude? How is that even close? It's not even close. Like, if there was actually a no trend to it, fair enough. You know, your scouting's not going to be perfect every time, but like, there's always a trend. The C's and the D's are always lies. So, like, what are we doing, you know? Like, how am I supposed to follow any sort of, like, blueprint at all when, you know, like, man. Russell Gage to the Bears for a 5th-round pick. He is automatically their number 2 wide receiver. Looks like they don't like Justin Fields. Obviously, they have Jalen Hyatt. He's a decent overall, but, you know, he's not as good of a player, obviously. We're going to trade Robert Hainsey for Spencer Brown and get ourselves some depth at tackle. I know we probably need the center more, but Ryan Jensen should be here for another couple of seasons. And, oh, we got to pay Spencer Brown anyways. Damn it. Can we trade Spencer Brown for something? I just want someone I don't have to pay. Ooh, Eric Gilbert. That's not too bad. I imagine that's not like cheese, right? Like, he's not amazing, right? He shouldn't be hidden. Yeah, he's normal dev. He's still really solid, but hey, I'm not one to deny a team a great trade, all right? Bro, what even is this? EA, please figure this out. Why are Pittman and Davis still here? The others, maybe, I guess, perhaps, but really? I also found a very good rookie kicker in free agency. I will take him. All right, the team for year 3, Jaren Hall is going to be the quarterback starting for the first time in his career. He's got all the tools to be successful. He's still young, and obviously we're hoping he has a crazy season. Leonard Fournette is probably on his way out. Receivers look great, even though Mike Evans is definitely regressing, but we have 3 wide receivers behind him that are solid, so we should be good there. Probably need a new center. Tight end hopefully develops, and honestly, outside of that, offense looks fine. Defense, maybe you're looking at a new D-line and then maybe a new safety, but once again, I think we're great there as well. Wooden finally with the dev up. Start of element trade. Only 5k XP seems a little low, though. 146 mil, but you can see why, as we have some names. Obviously, Wirfs is a guy that we see in free agency a lot. He's him, so there's no way this team is looking to get rid of him. Even a 6-year 120 is kind of like, it's good, but you could definitely do better, especially in free agency. And then Godwin, a 4-year 88, which is, kind of on par with that Wirfs deal. Not as long, but slightly more per year. Carlton Davis, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's a very good corner, so a 3-year 40. Damn, we were almost on a roll there. Joe Tryon is an interesting one because the contract ask isn't crazy. He's 25, but he has 90 finesse. Kind of depends on how well he's playing, which... Wow, that's bad. 2 sacks. He's the starter, dude. And, of course, Jensen, we talked about, wanting him to be here for another couple of seasons. So, at minimum, a year. Probably do another year after this. Just don't want to give him 2 years now, as he could literally retire. I don't think it's common or very likely, but he could. Offered him a 4-year 40 while he's playing like a trash can, and he's like... I'm not interested. Let me in. Let me in. We win and we're in. The weak link, probably the damn defense, I would say. I'm seeing those numbers were pretty bad. But Jaren Hall is not a defender, is he? He is a quarterback and the QB of the future. That's got to be a dev up. Leonard Fournette, you're out of here. Godwin, pretty good. Shepard, really good. I get it, right? You're watching this, you're like, what do you mean really good? 200 more yards. It's like, okay, well, Godwin's already a good player. Shepard's a rookie. So, when a rookie basically has the same season as Godwin, that makes it a better season, right? Because, he's just coming out of nowhere and just becoming a god. As far as blocking goes, glad we paid Wirf all that money. Zero has been terrible. Sack totals, really going to miss Joe Tryon, man. He's just, what a talent that guy is. Gary was decent. Wooden was pretty solid. Picks were decent. The rookie kicker, we gave him a 4-year 12, and it looks like it was a good decision. A 19 out of 22 season. Camarda looking like a god. Shepard was a kick returner as well. He got a touchdown there. Is he your offensive rookie of the year? He looks pretty good. Speaking of rookie or winners of awards, Jaren Hall at number 5 in general for MVP. Shepard, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. I don't even know if we started a defender there. Jaren Hall, almost best QB, which would have literally been like superstar development trade. Godwin, best wide receiver. Man, that could have been amazing. But it's still pretty good, as he will be guaranteed to go up in dev. And let's go up against these Panthers. I didn't see the first matchup of the season against them, but the second one we definitely lost, which actually made me think we were going to miss the playoffs. We dropped to 8-7, then we won the final 2, and well, the rest is history, as you know. To the second quarter, start of the scoring was from us, 7-3, 7-10, 14-10, a huge pre-half drive for a touchdown. They get a touchdown to start the second half. We get a stop. It's all tied up. Start of the fourth, we are up by 7. They tie it. No, they do not. They miss the extra point. And with 2 minutes left, pretty much on this drive, Jaren Hall and company do a good job, but not a great job. And they would have given them a chance, but Devin White gets an interception, and we will be moving on to the divisional round. Very close battle there. Jaren Hall doing his best to lose the game, but gunslinging like a moaf, as Leonard Fournette is clearly not him. Really good game from Godwin, not bad from Washington. And he got a lot of help from different players defensively. We had a pick. Thank God the kicker hit all his kicks. We needed every little bit that game. Divisional round, going up against the Packers. I don't know if they still have Rodgers or not. We're about to find out in a second. Doesn't seem to be so, but an X-Factor tight end named Quick. That doesn't sound good. All right, going to the end of the game. Up 7-0, 13-0. Can we not miss extra points? We paid you. We paid you. We paid you. And now we're only up by 3 because we paid you. 20-17, still entering the fourth, up 6 now, down 1, would have been tied if not for that stupid extra point miss. Now we're down by 5. No, we're not. We got the touchdown. We got the 2 points. So, in fairness, look at Jaren Hall going off, though. Did they just get bailed out on a penalty, though? Oh, my God. I want to come in. This is a huge play because not only can you get off the field. Oh, maybe you can, actually. I was about to say, maybe you get off the field and then get some time to maybe make a play, but maybe you don't. Should be a run. If they're smart, this is a run. You don't want to go too extra. I also don't like the fact that Winfield's not actually over the bunch of players there. And with it being 4th and it, they call the timeout! I mean, now I'm going to ice you. Their kicker is a tiny little man. All right, Hood. I don't even know if he's fast, but we're going to block it. We didn't block it. Kick is up. It is good. 4 seconds. I mean, unless they get wild with a kick, probably going to be headed to overtime. They kick it deep. I think you have to return it. Wicks trying to get wild. He's fast, but not fast enough. You know, there'd be fans like holding their breath. Like, you're kind of getting back there a little bit, man. But either way, overtime. All right, they got the ball first, but as you know, the rules have changed in the playoffs, so they can't. Oh, they had to punt it. Nobody can win on the first touchdown, but not what a freaking punt. I know it's set. Wait, it was a fumble. What, did they block the kick? Oh my God, I thought it was the greatest freaking punt of all time. Fumble, we were punting. Is Devondre even on the punt team? Bro. Man, Jaren freaking Hall didn't even play bad. Leonard Fournette didn't even play bad. Like, how many times are you going to get performances like these? Damn, dude. This is bad. Wait. Who gave up all those sacks? It was Zion. Okay, it was Ure. I was like, okay, I guess we actually do need to replace him, but it was Zion. Saints versus Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Kind of a weird Saints drop there, but they didn't win anyways. All you could have asked for is a dev up from Hall, but what you also get is a dev up from Darnell Washington and the wide receiver Shepard. So dev up for Hall. He's a star dev. Of course, you lose ratings. I don't understand that. Even with dev regression off, you still lose, like, you know, ratings every year as a quarterback. Offensive Rookie of the Year gives him superstar for Shepard. And then, of course, Washington. We could have easily had him dev up twice now. It's a close call that he didn't dev up the first time, but we'll take any dev up we can get, even if it's late. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Woodham was obviously already star. Probably looking for D-line again, as Logan Hall has just not been the guy, dude. He just hasn't been him. He's got good power move. He just can't pass rush. He's not good. And he's regressing. 1.5. He went from 4.5 to 1.5. That's pretty awful. Jamel Dean. He wasn't superstar, right? Oh, that's huge. Of course, Skinner I seen went up in dev. The backup safety, Geno Stone, went up in dev. He's not too bad. Maybe you look to re-sign him as a backup if he's not asking for too much. A little disappointing. I will say Hall still isn't kind of progressing as much as he probably should have after an amazing season like that. So I don't know if I would see that next season is a Super Bowl win, but if we manage the money, which apparently we've kind of done well already, like $111 million, and all we have to replace is a running back and a pass rusher, that's not bad. Joe Tryon for $21 million is not worth it. A 2-year $6 from Geno Stone, if he wants something similar to, like, if he actually wants that, I mean, I'll pay him a 2-year $6.8 to be backup. He went to star, and this team loves their depth at safety, let me tell you. Please be a running back. There's always a billion of them, and I don't see one. Oh, Leonard Fournette is the running back. We really have to freaking draft a running back, man. That is pain. Like, don't get me wrong, we have Rachaad White, but I think at this point he's already 26. It's probably not worth developing. And pass rushers are weak as well. All this money, nowhere to spend it, man. I didn't really want to do it, but he took the original offer of a 4-year $40, and we're just going to hope he develops. We have to spend some money. We have $100 million even after the fact. We had to spend some money, and I really didn't want to replace a new pass rusher, even though he wasn't that great for us, but we made ourselves a little bit of a run. Leonard Fournette, he's still there. Do you, like, grab him just for, make sure you have somebody, you have an option? Do you go with Michael Carter because that juke move is kind of busted? I think we're going to go Michael Carter here. White needs a contract soon anyways. A 3-year $12 for Carter is not bad. So I have 2 running backs on my list. One of them's around 1. One of them's around 1 to 2. But I think I'm okay with just having Michael Carter as the starter anyways, but I will say if this running back is there, he's absolutely worth it just based on his projections. They're both there. A little surprised to see both of them there. I think it's pretty clear cut, though, that Baker's our guy, right? Like, he just looks so much better off the rip, and that's not even counting the fact that he is actually faster as well. 4.40, you know, an A stiff arm, B truck, D juke, D spin, but an A break tackle, an A carrying, pretty damn fast. Catching's okay, ball carries at a B. First round running back, we're going to go for the Ronald Baker. Normal dev. Like we're joking, right? Like we're actually joking out here, right? So we trade 58 and 122 for 43 from the Eagles, which we're going to be using on a defensive tackle. I'm going to guess that Logan Hall is gone because this guy looks pretty solid. If he's not better than Hall, I mean, at what point do we just like give up on the D-line and just say, Vita Vea, it's up to you forever, man. It's all on you. An A power move, an A tackle, B block shed's okay. Finesse move, we're just going to assume it's not going to be good. I will say, he looks very similar to the last guy we drafted. I'm just hoping. Let's not talk about it. Okay, let's just forget about it. We move 90, a 4th and 6th next year to move up to 72 with the Niners, which are going to be taking a lineman with. I had a guard who just went to the Vikings, and then I have a center who I believe I'm going to take. I can't remember if I actually scouted him further or not. He's looking a little raw, I ain't going to lie, but do we still just take him? I'm going to take him. Bunch of firsts, why not? Hidden development trade. It's an offensive lineman. He's a center, and he will be the replacement for Jensen probably next season, as he is kind of tiny in fairness. We trade a 5th and a 6th this with a 7th next year for 97 from the Browns, which will be kind of our like last decent pick, as we've also lessened and weakened next year's class. But Darrell Canty, he looks very fast. A to C zone is usually A or a B, so going to go with this very athletic linebacker who is also hidden. Now, maybe not a positional need per se, but you know, if we don't like the way the linebackers are developing, or we don't like the way the contracts are lining up, can always use him. We have depth at that position. Now, once again, I always think best available pick, unless it's like really not needed, like best available pick, but we obviously clearly don't need a wide receiver. I think is worth it every time. All right, so we landed some hiddens for positions we don't really need this moment, and we drafted some normals for positions we do need, although they're pretty good overall. 77 overall for the running back, 76 for the defensive tackle. I think they might both start. Baker, I mean, he's built very similarly to most of the guys you can end up landing in the later rounds of the draft, but he is really good regardless. And then Dylan Burns, 83 power move. He is our new starting left end. He's basically the same as Logan Hall right now, but he's like 3 or 4 years younger. Maybe we trade off Logan for like a 4th round pick. Oh, he's a 77 at left end. That's not super common to see an increase. Let's take a look at the other running back. We had a choice at either one, and he's a 79 overall. He's hidden. He's 95 juke move. Don't tell me he's a generational. Don't tell me. Do not. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. He's really good, but he has no trucking in-game. It kind of seems like you need a mix of the two to be a good running back in Sim. So, I don't know if I hate that. It kind of depends on how well Baker plays, I suppose. How well Bowen plays. But in general, I do tend to think the trucking backs in the game are better. Although Leonard Fournette didn't work well for us, so maybe we needed a kind of a more elusive style back. Oh well. We trade White and Hall to the Bills for a 3rd round pick. Obviously, it's projected high, but I imagine they have Josh Allen still, and they do. So, I mean, they have James Cook, but he clearly isn't really developing well. And, for White to be as good as he is without even have ever started, it's worth the trade, I'd say. I don't know. I just don't like starting a 26-year-old running back that we have to, pay. I just think it's an L. We have Carter, who's very good already, and we had to pay him way less, and he's literally the same age. Oh, this is interesting. This guy's got 98 throw power. He has no speed or agility, but he has an 85 excel. EA just throwing the wild ones out there. He's 6'5", 238. I should have checked if he had any trucking. Not that it matters. He's literally 2 speed. But that's kind of crazy. I like it. Oh, never mind. Bennett's the starter. It seems like Jensen is retired, and we were getting close, and he's like, who cares? I don't want it. Unfortunate, but good timing on drafting him, I suppose. Dylan Burns is the new starter, obviously, and of course we do have some decent backups for everything. So I mean, we're in a good spot. Jaren Hall was the key. I'm really hoping he can continue to play well, though, because you never know. The Arden key, look, he just showed up, perfect timing. You never know when he's going to, if he sucks, then we're back to square one. But if he keeps playing like he did last season, we're in a good spot because of him, saving us hard. All right, Jaren Hall is even lower than I thought. I thought he was a 75 overall. He's a 73, but 85 medium, 85 short, 80 deep, 91 throw power. That's kind of what you would expect a quarterback to be at, right? His awareness sucks, break sack sucks, but break sack doesn't matter too much. Awareness probably does, but he'll get there. Of course, Bennett being thrown into the fire here a little bit, but it's center, so it's not great. But I suppose if there was a position that, you don't want to mind too much of having a youngster, as long as you get that snap timing down, should be fine. Zier, I'm hoping plays better. He's a good player. He just sucks. It doesn't make any sense to say that, but it's true. And then defense is kind of stacked. Burns, even though he's normal, does have high potential, so we're hoping for an early breakout. Dylan Burns with the dev up, already way faster and better than Logan Hall at upgrading. I'm sorry, sir. So we have 98 million. Mike Evans might actually be gone. Camarda, I love this guy, and I want him to stay forever. So 4-year 12, happy to sign, happy to give the contract. Zion McCollum, man, we actually have money, though. Surely we're paying out soon. I might even pay Terrell Edmonds. He was in free agency, and he is kind of one of those guys that probably would be there. So why not? And then Mike Evans, like I said, he's not bad, but he's at 32. He's an 89 overall. We got Shepard, climbing up the ranks. I think I'm gonna let him go, dude. Ooh, Ronald Baker, start development trade, 10K XP. Not a great season, but thankfully, just like real life, wow, lost that game too. The rest of the division has played like duty. I really don't care. I'm not going to look into all that. It just takes too much time. But let's take a look at the stats and awards. Quarterback situation still looking good. Interceptions climbing up a little bit, but touchdowns, pick ratio is great. Yards are amazing again. Baker's number's not great, but with those touchdowns, maybe, especially Offensive Rookie of the Year award, if he wins it, maybe good enough to go to Superstar anyways. Godwin was solid. Shepard was decent. Evans was decent. And Washington may be a superstar. And offensive line, Zier plays way better, but Wirf's still kind of not so great. Rashawn Gary with 14 sacks, Vita Vea with 11.5, and Joe Tryon, giving him a chance, 7.5, fair enough. It's better than what I'm working with. Kamard a little bit worse than before. Tennant missing 3 kicks yet again. I'm fine with it. We're cool. We're all right. Will Lee. Okay. Jaren Hall barely making a list at top of that board, and best offensive rookie of the year, same with Burns. So we have ourselves 2 guys that started at normal, and they are now going to be superstars after the year is over. That's what we like to see, baby. And I'm not going to talk crap about how easy of a game this is going to be against the Bears, because we're 9-8 and we suck. All right, going to the end of the game, they drive down, but we stop them. We do nothing. They get a field goal. We get a touchdown. They get a really long drive touchdown. We get a long drive touchdown right back. And right before halftime, had a chance to score, didn't. Started the second half, up by 18 now, entering the fourth. 35-17. And a victory, moving on to the divisional round. Pretty good game from Jaren Hall. Running back Baker has played like crap. Oh my God, he has been bad in the regular season. He's been bad in the playoffs. We just paid McCollum a 2-year 7, so glad to see him get a pick. Justin Jacobs was solid. But man, that running back situation, this entire rebuild has become a problem. Is Jaren Hall ready? Is the team ready? About to find out. Seahawks, ironically enough, they were 9-1 when we faced them, and we beat them. I'm just saying. If history can repeat itself, that'd be pretty cool. Who would have thought it would have been a rainy one in Seattle? Of course, they score a touchdown right out the gate. We're driving down. We get a touchdown. It's all tied up. We will take it. up by 3, and right before halftime, we get a field goal. Finally, we do something before halftime. Only up by 3 now, up by 10 with a touchdown. One more touchdown would win it, and there it is. The game is won. Heading on to the championship round. We will take it. Jaren Hall, very similar game to last week. Looking pretty good. Running game still absolutely horrendous. Darnell Washington looking pretty good, actually. Shepard as well. The youngsters coming in clutch. They had some pretty good success on their D-line. We were okay. Winfield with a pick. And Tennant, love the fact that he was perfect. To the championship round. Going up against the Cowboys, who are an 88. I mean, we're better overall than every single team we have seen here, but I mean, we've been eluded of the Super Bowl. Going to the end of the game, starting off with 6. Missed the extra point because that is our trend. That is our calling card. 16-0, though. We'll take that. 16-7. And that lead has diminished. Drove down, but no score. Same there. Only got a field goal. Up by 2. Nice field goal. Down by what now? Nope. Still up by 2. The touchdown could be enough to win it. It is. And we're headed to the Super Bowl against the Bills, a team that they projected as a high third-round pick. Instead, they are literally 31-32. So glad the game had that evaluation. Jaren Hall, though, putting up those 2 touchdowns, 0 pick, almost 300-yard or just over 300-yard numbers. Ronald Baker was awful again, like usual. He's just useless. He's just not good. At least he got a touchdown or 2, but sack totals were really what won us this game, it seems. Jamel Dean with a pick also helped. Missed an extra point and a field goal, but at least he wasn't Joey Sly, missing 3 of them. All right, here we go. Facing off against the Bills. Could it all be over? Could we have won ourselves a Super Bowl? Hall, is he a superstar? He is. Same with Baker and Washington. This is a sick offense, though. You can't deny it. And then defensively, Burns, we did know, is going to be a superstar. Gary goes the X factor. Devin, okay, so this is one, I got to look at all these devs. This is one of the best dev-up seasons I've ever had in a rebuild, as Jaren Hall is now a superstar. Extended anchor, wow, these abilities mean literally, it doesn't make any sense. Why would he have abilities that just don't affect him? He can't break sacks, and he's not an X factor. Come on. Let's not be dumb, EA, please. Of course, already a pretty good trucking back, and we see that has not worked for us, so we're going to try to go elusive, which he gets 2 to juke move, and let's do it again. Maybe he gets a speed or something. That'd be kind of cool. And he is, wow, okay, we'll take that. He is now plus 5 juke move off of those 2, which definitely adds some, versatility to his game, if you will. Darnell Washington with the dev up, 85 overall now as a tight end. Slow start for him, but he has definitely picked it up ever since, and he looks pretty good. And then defensively, like we said, Skinner, now a superstar development trait player, which is beautiful. And then obviously we've seen that Carlton Davis went up in dev, which is pretty sick. And obviously we knew Burns was going to go up because he was Rookie of the Year. And this is a really good season. All right, going to the end of the game, they have 5 overalls less than us, maybe even 6, because we had some upgrades. I didn't even pay attention on our side. I just assume we're a 92 overall. But it's 13-7. Halftime score will remain that. The Bills getting a field goal. The Bills getting a touchdown. We get a touchdown. Fourth quarter has hit. They drive down, get nothing. Our offense really does not want to win. They're going to kick a field goal from that range, which isn't guaranteed, but it's not the hardest in the world. They do hit it. And with 3 minutes left just about, we have a chance. 3rd and 7, they convert. Moving down a little bit. Not really sure why we did that. And penalty on the defense. What's the situation? We kicking the field goal? Bro, I'm just going to kick the field goal. I want to win a damn Super Bowl. Our kicker's a lefty as well. This is why he never hits all of his kicks. And they ice us at the... I'm sure that can be done. I'm sure that's possible. I'm kicking the field goal. I don't care, dude. The game literally will just not have them kick the field goal. I guarantee it. Although I'm not super confident here with this one right now. I'm not going to lie. Kicking the field goal. It's up. It's good. The time expires. And we have won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers and Jaren Hall at quarterback. That I could live with. That I could live with. And we have succeeded. We've built a pretty damn good team here. We obviously kept the right Buccaneers that needed to be kept. Obviously, Shaquille Barrett, he wouldn't have been here at this point anyways. But moving on from him, getting Rashawn Gary was massive. We had the money to give him more. So if anyone wants to complain, that's such a stupid contract. What was 21 per or something. He's worth more than that, which I don't even know at this point. You know, ACL injuries are big. They're big for careers. We could have afforded him. We literally just won a Super Bowl with nearly $100 million cap space. We had nothing to spend it on. Free agency was so weak in this entire rebuild. It'll probably get really good in this season or the next season, but don't need to worry about that, as we have won a Super Bowl, and this team is flying high. I mean, we won a Super Bowl with Ryan Jensen retiring. That's pretty impressive. And with Jaren Hall throwing 3 interceptions. How did we win this? Defense went ham. They went absolutely ham. So did BJ Ojolari, in fairness. Defense must have just been locked down. The kicker missed 3 field. Bro. How did we win? The Bills are awful. We missed 3 field goals and threw 3 interceptions, so there's 0. And we won. That's absurd. That is actually absurd. Let's take a look at the team. See how some of these guys develop and kind of call it there. Jaren Hall is still climbing. Glad we gave him a chance, and more or less we're forced to give him a chance, as the quarterback class at the time was pretty bad. Our draft pick wasn't good. Very good quarterback, obviously, and still getting better as he's superstar and young in general. Baker, we've obviously already seen. Those 2 upgrades are really good. Got him from 79 to 84 juke move. Let's take a look at Godwin, who's nearing 99, but I don't think he'll get there because he is starting to regress. Very good wide receiver. God tier route runner. Release is a little iffy, but very good player, and he's been great throughout this entirety. Mike Evans we already seen, and he's obviously about to leave us. He's regressing. Short route sucks from Shepard. His release got up there a little bit. His deep route is insane. He is a super flyer. Take a look at Washington. We already did see him, but I didn't really pay attention too much to him. He has 86 catch in traffic, 85 spec. Very solid player. A little bit, nice to be a couple more speed faster, but obviously that's good enough to cook. Tristan Wirfs, the fact that he gives up double-digit sacks every season just proves this game needs an overhaul. Their sim engine, whatever you want to call it, is just awful. Like, how is he giving up that many sacks? He should be bustedly, locked in at under 10, just guaranteed every season. Zero, obviously, is an amazing finesse blocker, but power blocking is awful, so run a power rusher at him, and it's a GG. Zion Nelson, power blocking also sucks. Put him at tackle, which, to be fair, that's where he should have played. But the offense looks insane. Defense, even though Burns just got here, he's an 83 overall superstar. Even though he started at normal, and he's still in his rookie year. Vita Vea, he's a 93 overall. He's regressing probably. He's 30 now. He's still really good, but that power move is taking a bit of a hit. Well, I can't even say that because he's actually regressed quite a bit from real life. So, his ratings aren't even that great in the game anymore. Wooden, kind of turned it around and put it on a little bit, put on a show. Safety, we already seen Skinner. Winfield's a 95 overall, which is pretty insane. And he's nearly maxed in zone, which is just absurd. Jamel Dean, he's obviously probably about 30 by now. 28, actually. Wow, I'm way off. But super good, man. Solid zone. What else do we have? Devin White, 95 overall. Obviously, he's a 90, but that 95 overall with the boost is crazy. Block shedding in zone isn't amazing, but pretty solid for both, and he's well on his way to... he's basically one of the best linebackers in the league with that speed. Rashawn Gary got himself to X Factor. He's only 27. So much talent, so much potential still, and obviously he's playing pretty well for this team. And then Joe Tryon, we don't really care too much about because he really hasn't played well, but I guess we'll take a look at 91 finesse, 83 speed. Yeah, he really did not play well. I was hoping he would develop into a god, but didn't. Justin Jacobs, 80 overall. Great block. He's literally the same block shed and zone as Devin White already, and he's still several overalls less than him, which is actually pretty impressive. And then Carlton Davis, who's 28 years old now, but superstar, very similar to Jamel, just nowhere near as fast. It's a solid team, but surprised it took us this long. Obviously, I can say that because Jaren Hall is good. Wish the run game would have been a little bit better, but the way Jaren Hall played, the way this team should have played, the rest of the guys, really surprised we didn't win, maybe back-to-back even, but obviously, team is in a really good spot, even though it's 9-8, still won the Super Bowl, and it's in a really good spot for the future without a doubt, and obviously with all that cap room, you can make the team even better, even for just a year. Probably go back-to-back, maybe even three-peat. So if we were to come back, maybe we could do that and just show how good this team is. But that's about it. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK plays for non-Madden kind of playthroughs. Gonna probably have the final episode of Far Cry 6 up on the second channel tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. And Saturday, I don't know, Vikings and Seahawks probably, with Monday being a long rebuild. Get ready. Get your seats toasted. Post-Christmas rebuild. I don't know. That's about it, though. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!